It started innocently enough, like most things do. I met Alex at a coffee shop on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. I was nursing a latte, staring out the window at the downpour, when he slid into the seat across from me with a grin that could melt steel. "Mind if I join you? This place is packed, and you look like you could use some company." His eyes were warm, his voice smooth, and before I knew it, we were laughing about the absurdities of city life. By the end of the hour I had his number and he had mine. Our first date was magical. He took me to a little Italian place tucked away in a side street, where the candles flickered just right and the wine flowed like conversation. Alex listened, really listened, when I talked about my job as a graphic designer, my dreams of starting my own studio someday. He shared stories from his life as a marketing consultant, painting pictures of travels and adventures that made my world feel small and exciting all at once. "You're special, Elena," he said that night, his hand brushing mine. "I can see it in your eyes. Don't let anyone dim that light." The compliments came easily in those early days. He'd text me good morning with a poem he'd just thought of, or surprise me with flowers at work because "I couldn't stop thinking about you." Felt like love, the kind from movies where everything aligns perfectly. My friends noticed the glow on my face. "He's a keeper," they'd say, and I'd nod, feeling lucky. But looking back, the first crack appeared about a month in. We were at a party with my friends, and I was chatting animatedly with an old college buddy, Mark. Alex hovered nearby, smiling, but when we left, his mood shifted. In the car he was quiet, staring at the road. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Nothing," he said, but his grip on the wheel tightened. "Just, you seemed really into that guy. Mark, right?" Laughing at all his jokes. I laughed it off. "He's just a friend. We've known each other forever." "Yeah, well, friends can turn into more. I just don't want to lose you to someone like that." His voice was soft, almost vulnerable. It made me feel guilty, like I'd hurt him without meaning to. So I reassured him, promised I'd be more mindful. That night, he held me close, whispering how much he needed me. Felt intimate, protective. Over the next few weeks, those moments piled up like unnoticed dust. He'd comment on my outfits before we went out. "That dress is a bit short, don't you think? I don't want other guys staring." And I'd change, thinking he was just looking out for me. Or he'd sigh when I mentioned plans with friends. Again, I thought we'd have the evening to ourselves. I'd cancel, not wanting to disappoint him. It was subtle, wrapped in affection. "I love you so much, Elena. You're my everything. Love." He said it first, 3 months in, during a weekend getaway to the mountains. We were hiking, the air crisp and pine-scented, when he stopped at a viewpoint and pulled me into his arms. "I love you," he murmured against my hair. My heart soared. I said it back, meaning every word. But with love came expectations. He'd check in throughout the day. Texts asking where I was, who I was with. At first it was sweet. "Just missing you." Then it became insistent. "Why didn't you answer sooner?" I was worried. I'd apologize, explain I was in a meeting, and he'd forgive me with a kiss. "I get anxious when I don't hear from you. You're the only one who calms me." My work suffered a bit. Deadlines loomed, but Alex wanted more time together. "Your job is stressing you out," he'd say. "Why not quit and focus on your studio idea? I'll support us." It sounded romantic, but I hesitated. Independence was important to me. When I voiced that, his face fell. "Don't you trust me? I thought we were in this together." The guilt gnawed at me, so I started working from home more, fitting my schedule around his. The isolation crept in slowly. Friends' invitations dwindled because I kept declining. When I did go out, Alex would text incessantly. "Having fun without me?" Or later, "You seemed distant tonight. Is something wrong?" I'd end up reassuring him instead of enjoying myself. One night, after a girls' dinner, he picked me up and grilled me about what we talked about. "Did you mention me? What did they say?" His eyes searched mine, and I felt like I was on trial. I started doubting myself. Was I being insensitive? Alex had shared his past. A bad breakup that left him scarred, trust issues from childhood. "You're healing me," he'd say. So I tried harder, became the perfect partner. I cooked his favorite meals, listened to his work rants, even distanced myself from Mark after Alex suggested he had ulterior motives. Felt like love, sacrificing for the one you care about. But cracks turned to fissures. 6 months in, we argued about my family. I wanted to visit my parents for the weekend. He insisted on coming. "I don't like being apart," he said. When I pushed back, needing space, his voice rose. "Space? What, so you can do whatever without me knowing?" He stormed out, leaving me in tears. Hours later, he returned with apologies and roses. "I'm sorry, baby. I just love you too much. The thought of losing you terrifies me." We made up passionately, and I forgave him. Again. The pattern emerged in hindsight. The outburst, the blame shifted to me, the makeup laced with affection. He'd criticize my choices. "That design is too bold. Clients won't like it," undermining my confidence until I sought his approval for everything. My studio dream faded. I clung to my job but felt drained. Weight crept on from stress eating, and he'd comment gently, "We should hit the gym together. I want you healthy for our future." The turning point was subtle like the rest. 9 months in, I found an old journal while cleaning. Flipping through, I saw entries from before Alex. Vibrant, ambitious, full of plans. Now my days revolved around him. That night, as he slept beside me, I lay awake, a whisper of unease stirring. It built gradually. A friend called, concerned. "We miss you, Elena. Is everything okay?" I brushed it off, but the seed planted. I noticed how Alex twisted conversations, making me the villain. "You're always so defensive." Or gaslighting. "I never said that, you're imagining things." When I confronted him about a forgotten promise, he'd flip it. "You're too sensitive. Why can't you just be happy?" The realization dawned like a slow sunrise. I wasn't happy. I was anxious, walking on eggshells. Love shouldn't feel like this. Constant appeasement, erosion of self. I researched online late at night. Emotional manipulation, gaslighting, isolation. The signs matched, a checklist of our relationship. I didn't leave dramatically. It was quiet over coffee one morning. "I need space," I said. He pleaded, cried, promised change. But I saw it now, the cycle. I packed a bag, stayed with a friend. Months later, sitting alone in my new apartment, overlooking the city lights, I reflect. The rain patters against the window, much like that first day. I never realized how toxic love could be, how it masquerades as care, chips away at your soul until you're a shadow. But in the quiet, I've found myself again. Stronger, wiser. Love should lift, not bind. And for the first time in a long time, I breathe freely.